Mm. Our little Zen music intro.
Remember
Oh,
that standard computerized on hold music that every phone system had? Bum,
yeah.
bum, bum, pa, 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 pa. Bum,
Yep.
bum, bum, pa, 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 pa. Right? You love that from the 90s. When you got that feature, you were
Yep.
like, we are cutting edge.
We
No
are the
more
best.
silence,
And the
right?
days when you had to pay for ringtones?
Then you'd hack it and try to figure out how can you create your own.
Yeah.
I
To have lived in the world without technology. It's a
know.
really interesting thing, and I think it's a good intro in today. And if you have not caught us before, this is Shaun Kim, the Shaun and Kim Show. Shaun is the doer of really cool automation things. And I'm a business development coach who do all the start of the strategy and all that lovely stuff. So we are talking about AI because it's everywhere. And
It is.
you posted a really cool study that was sent out. So I think we, sometime today kind of talk about that a little bit because I think we also need to know and understand that just because the conversation or the details that are out there, does that mean it's true?
Right.
Right? So there is, of course, the whole idea of marketing is to get the idea out there in abundance. So don't mistake the abundance for fact.
Right.
Right? Yeah, it's really interesting. So the question today is no longer about is your marketing good? The question everyone is asking is your marketing real?
Hmm.
That's that biggest part. It's so interesting. So this matters because AI wins, right? It helps you and it boosts you forward. It wins when the human side isn't the leading asset needed. And I think that's a really powerful statement to put through,
Hmm.
right?
100%.
Right? So it's no longer about speed at all anymore. It's about critical thinking. And that is that advantage. And it truly is starting to happen. And I don't know, do you want to chime in now about that study that was happening from Nova Scotia?
Yeah, I can absolutely. They just put out Digital Nova Scotia, which is an organization here that's focused on the technology side of the province. Just did a whole like 69-page report on the state of technology in this province, and it just dropped today. So I skimmed through it and read some stuff that was in there. But the idea around it is that for one, people feel like they're so far behind with AI.
Yeah.
And the reality is, you haven't, as they so elegantly put it, you haven't missed the boat. The boat hasn't even left the dock yet.
Yeah.
But it is the ropes have been thrown, right? So, the idea behind everybody trying to grow and scale and thinking that they need to have more people and all that kind of stuff, that they actually need better systems because the systems are what actually drives everything that's there. So, and we're seeing this with LinkedIn. LinkedIn's changed their algorithm, which they're actually took a hard stance against this AI, what they call the AI slop that's put out there,
Mhm.
which is interesting because you've got people that have been using AI to create content and put it out there, and now this platform, LinkedIn, is using AI to catch that content and say, no, like we are only going to reward real human thoughts, insights, that type of stuff, not this just regurgitated AI content that people are just mass producing.
Mm. Are they
Right.
are they like checking the metadata or like how do they know?
I want to dive deeper into that. I just heard that this week
Uh,
in an email that I got, and I want to get a better understanding of how
mhm.
they're doing it. But you're going to see a huge shift in a lot of that.
Yeah. And even the videos, the videos coming up too. It's a very interesting challenge. And I think we're going to talk about the issues, but what's the solution and how to make it through this? Because I've been struggling for a couple months now on LinkedIn, and I
Hmm.
used to have quite a heavy stick on LinkedIn, and now it's like one or two people liking my stuff, and that's it, right?
Hmm.
And it's not that it's just not showing up in the feed or into people's feed. And I look at my feed now, and it feels like TikTok.
Hmm.
It is a whole bunch of influencers um, talking garbage about buy my program again, or talking about success, or talking about that. And I don't know about you, but I want LinkedIn to really listen to the thought leaderships that I appreciate, that I want to follow, that I want to engage with. And so it's really funny how it's taken away it's just taken away its value from me now, because there's just a whole bunch of strangers splattered across my feed now that I really don't care about. And then I go and look and I click on their profile. There's no recommendations. There's no testimonials. There's nothing at all. No endorsements. It's
Hmm.
just more slop. I
Yeah.
think more slop, right?
I would love to see it coming down the pipe with the platform like LinkedIn, because LinkedIn has held off for so long to not jump on
Yeah.
that train that Facebook and Instagram and TikTok has had, where you'll have to have a certain amount of street cred, I guess, in your account before you actually get rewarded. So I think rewarding the people that have the profiles that actually have the real recommendations and all that kind of stuff, not just necessarily what they're putting in the post, right?
That's
I think it's
exactly it.
going to be key, right? So people can't just spin up an account like they're doing in the other platforms, throw some ad budget and starting to spam and show up in news feeds, right? And fake people into thinking that they're legit.
Legit, right? Like I have 20 some recommendations, testimonials on mine, sorry, and even more
Hmm.
so recommendations. And you look, is the job history is there, all those things. So there's all these caveats there that LinkedIn has right at their hands
Hmm.
to help them make the decision of what content really to push and move forward. So, here we are, simple little people that are we're solving LinkedIn's problem. But I really would love to see that stance of go right down to the profile, and the ones that have been there posting tested and true,
Hmm.
let them be the ones that you push forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would make
When
sense.
you look at human behavior and how they take recommendations, if you're asking for who's can you refer an advisor or any kind of specialist in an area, you're
Mhm.
going to first ask somebody that you like, know, and trust. Do they know anybody, right? And if they do, you go there and you look, and what are you looking at next? Oh, who do we have in common, right? What's our commonalities of people that are also
Yeah.
connected to you? And if there's more, then obviously that's going to carry a heavier weight that's
Mhm.
in there, right? And if
Yeah.
you want to go a step further, maybe you reach out to somebody else and figure out, what's their connection to them. But like that's the idea, not just doing a search in LinkedIn or any other platform looking for these people and whatever comes up, because we know you can get in front of people quickly, but that reputation is not long lived if you aren't legit.
Right?
Yeah.
You sniff through it quickly, and that's where it hands a whole lot of difficulties. Like the last couple of weeks have been very challenging in our business here, because there's been this, so many people have been faked and duped out that they're just afraid to even make a decision.
Hmm.
Right? So we have all this information thrown at us, and I almost think it's a responsibility. It's kind of a funny thing. I do think it's a responsibility of the platforms to, okay, can you sort through the right data? And it's not, I know you need ad spend, I know you need dollars. That's how it all works. But most of their money is made off of memberships there. So
Hmm.
give me the right membership, actually be able to show me the people who it are aligned with and that actually are tried, tested, and true.
Hmm.
Reward them for once. Because I think the fall of the influencers are coming hugely, like hugely. Did I tell you the influencer that was just out there and who is advising on fashion and business, who publicly, no joke, posted that she got a nose job because she didn't want to hand her bad genetics down to her children when she gets married?
Wow. Okay. Somebody skipped health class.
So I'm sitting here going, so Instagram, TikTok, whatever, this is who you are pushing in front of people as a thought leader. So it scares me a little bit. Right? Okay. Off the soapbox. We're gonna help you make a decision and the solution we see. Okay. And this is where we work with people, because it is going to get even louder. It's going to get more confusing on all this stuff. So there's so much AI out there. It's not even funny. So technology has started to do the work that used to take us hours and days and weeks. And the best way I can talk about this. So when people are saying poo poo AI, I want you to think about this. So have you never used an Excel spreadsheet that has done the formulas for you?
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
Using Adobe. using any of these tools that will solidify and do a formula for you. So that's really the same thing on the side of AI that I love, is that it's correlating data very quickly.
That's
Would
right.
you agree?
Yeah, and I'll give you a real example this week that I just did this. I'm helping my mother-in-law who's running for a municipal re-election, and she got the whole voter list of the entire town that she's running in, and it was given to her in Excel and just listed in alphabetical order by name. So we have volunteers that are going to go door to door dropping off flyers, but the data doesn't give them walking routes. So I used AI to say, okay, take this data, look at it against, Google Maps information, and give us logical walking routes and reorganize it in a way that we can give the volunteers sheets with their routes on it. And it did it within minutes. Like for a human to do that would have been hours to figure all that out
Right?
that was in there. Right. So that was a case of giving it data, telling it exactly what we wanted, and let AI do the heavy lifting.
Yes.
Right.
It's the correlation, right? It absolutely is the thinking correlation power of what you've asked it to do.
Mhm,
And it's not really, it's just stronger than from before, right?
mhm.
We've had Excel spreadsheets forever, being able to work on in Excel. It just does it a lot. And it's that leverage over labor have as I have on that second point there. So no longer speed. We can do things really, really quickly if we have, again, the right information.
Mhm.
So even your critical thinking in that point, you looked at it and you said, okay, how can I do this? What can I utilize this tool to help me get the best result? So when you have and utilize a tool like AI and the ones that are winning, there's effort and it's rewritten. So it's one thought and it's one decision that will create more value than a whole bunch of frantic activity. So what I mean by this is someone will get their hands on AI and they're going to write 10 blog posts and a whole bunch of newsletters and a whole bunch of this and a whole bunch of that. And it's spiders everywhere. And it's not anchored to one critical thought.
Mhm.
Where AI, you actually should use it for one critical thought to have more impact on different layers, right? Am I
Absolutely.
explaining that correctly?
Yeah, it's very similar to like back in the SEO days when you were like writing content. You would come up with pillar pages on your website with that were like two or three just core thoughts that you basically were leaning into,
Yeah.
and all other content had to be connected in one way, almost like a spider web,
Mhm.
to one of those two or three core pillar pages, and that was helping you structure your content that way. That if it was not in line with that, it wasn't something that you should be putting out
Mhm.
there. And that's the idea, is as opposed to just everything just being a throw it at the wall and hopefully something comes out, right? Because then people, they don't know where to go next,
No.
right, when they see that content, right? Or if it's so far off the path, they're like, well, how are you connected to this? How can you help me, right?
Mhm. Where's your story behind it? Where are all those very, very important steps that come to the idea of your market and your brand,
Mhm.
your voice, your you, your I? Where is that? It's so far removed. Like it's not there anymore. Right. And it's that part of, even when this first started a couple of years ago, when you and I first started to talk, and chat was the one really out there. And you said something to the point of, I consider it my intern, and now it's upgraded, and you can build your agents and stuff like that, which is cool. Again, it's leveraging a scalable idea. Again, one idea will outperform thousands of cold, unwarm things. And it's now really about who's not fastest to the gate, it's who is clearest about their message, period. Right. So the three battlegrounds we are talking about today: wins, losses, and what we have witnessed by working with clients. So we're going to talk about marketing, because AI can write endlessly, but can it build trust? We're going to talk about media. So does it look real enough, but does it feel real? And the last part is automation. So we're saving hours, but where do you need to automate? And it's that part of that you say that I love, that we're going to approach later on here. So round one, you need like almost a bell a ding. So AI, it can write endlessly, but is endlessly equal trustworthy? And when your readers will know the difference. So the pros I see and that I've experienced where AI wins, it drafts at a speed for content, captions, and outreach. the ideation engine. So it helps you with a blank page, because we've had writer's block so many times, or where do I start? Where do I go? So you prompt it even just to the point of, this is what I want to do. Ask me these questions, right? And you
Mhm.
start bringing together, idea. So research and summarization, personalization at scale that you couldn't staff for, and A/B testing. So do you agree with those wins when it comes to marketing?
100%. Right.
Yeah.
Those are all great ones that are there, and I absolutely love the last one, the A/B testing, because we do so little of that, but I stand behind this data beats opinion side.
Yeah.
That I've
Yeah.
said that before. And for those that don't know what A/B testing is, it's basically taking the
Exactly.
same kind of outcome of what you want and approaching it from two different ways and see which one resonates the most with the audience.
Yeah. Feedback, we've lacked, because we're in such a world of create, create, create right now, because it's right at our fingertips. We are losing sight of testing. We really are. It's important, right? So here's the cons. So where the human side is the asset, it's that generic voice, and your clients can get detected. So when it's everywhere now. I play games on my phone, and all the commercials and all that kind of stuff, the ads that happen, they're all AI now. It's some people are being ridiculous and leaving the errors in there, and they're making fun of it, but there's actually no point of view. And point of view is what advice-based businesses sell on. It's
Mhm.
your biased advice and your point of view. They buy into you first before anything. And we forget that, right? So be careful. It erodes critical thinking that built your authority. This was tough. I was dealing with an advisor last week, and we did a whole bunch of stuff together through our training and our coaching. We found that whole process of, who's your ideal client, what are their pains, problem, needs, and or gaps, what's your talent, all of that really important process. And then he went to another person and tested out a whole bunch of AI content, because we had a bit of a conversation about some
Mhm.
things, right? And because putting through that point of, to go somewhere you have never been before, you have to change your path. And so what he was using before didn't work. So he went back to someone else just to create something very quickly that was comfortable, and AI was used to create it. Then he came back to me and said, Kim, I hate the stuff that was created for me. It looks good. It looks really good, but it doesn't feel like me. I can't deliver it. That's huge.
Mhm.
And people are starting to realize that, right? Volume crowds the channel. I'm going to start cleaning up all my social media channels. I got so much content on there. I'm going to start cleaning it up, because I think it's important. Because if you got post after post after post after post, right? So the influencers, the gurus, the people that want to sell you a product that will post for you, create stuff for you, all that kind of stuff, they're going to say that it's important to post 18,542 times a day, because they want you to buy their product.
Mhm.
But really, do you need to post 18,542 times a day?
No.
Crowd your feed.
Mhm.
Crowd your feed completely, right? And it becomes irritating. And the relationship is just between you and the reader. Like, that's the asset. So don't do anything with AI that would intrude on that really important relationship, right? Yeah. I feel like I'm coaching you today. I'm just like, why am I looking at you so seriously? I was always almost the Kim coach voice almost came out.
I actually want to add something to that, in not in the financial industry, but in a more of an auto sales industry.
Mhm.
Um, I was working with a client who had this sales follow up system. When a lead came in, basically they wanted 4 or 5 emails that went out, and then a couple hours later another email and a text and text and text and all that kind of stuff, right? What they found was people weren't responding to that. So
Oh,
what made the shift of, let's initially get one message goes out that acknowledges that they've been received,
yeah.
and then notify the actual salesperson, and then put it on them to respond back to that person,
Yeah.
right? And that actually helped drastically in that. So it took all this automated pieces that was like, oh, this is the cool technology. We're going to have automation do everything.
Yeah.
Uh, it's it doesn't work, right? People need that human touch, especially in anything that has to do with finances and stuff like that, right? If you're, if you're selling sneakers, maybe not, right?
Yeah.
But anything that's building on trust and a personal relationship with the person they're reaching out to and being vulnerable with, you can't have AI being the front communication point all the time, right? You can use it in a sense to analyze information to prep you for the conversation, and
Yes.
that's what I think where it's striving to be the leader in that.
Yeah. I agree.
Mhm.
Totally agree. Totally agree. It is that part that we need. And in today's lives just about helping you really understand the decision of, okay, take a pause. Do I need a human side of this or can it be automated? Right. It's that
Mhm.
biggest part of just really deciding. And that helps take away a lot of this confusion that we have. So when we're looking at the media side, and I'm talking about the actual media, so avatars, clones, AI video content, they're impressive until high trust audience starts noticing that it is AI. So it's even funny when this first started and you were testing out a couple of things and it was a chat bot and it was like, ooh, I get the first message from you. And I was like, oh, Shaun's interested. Remember that about a year ago? And
Yes.
then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, fuck off. I mean, you're
Beep.
AI. Sorry.
All right. There goes our reach.
Right? Gone. I'm like, leave me alone. You're AIing me now. Like I didn't like it. It didn't
Mhm.
like it at all. So as soon as you find out like that happens, I want a real human being, especially today. So the pros are cool when you can repurpose again that single asset across a whole bunch of formats.
Mhm.
Repurposing, right? And it's uh, it's multiplying your reach without having a big studio. So I understand like it is expensive. The entry to start a business is quite actually low nowadays with
Mhm.
all the assets that are available. Just make sure that you're not like a kid in a candy store and you're gorging over everything. Just find the one thing that will attract the taste of that ideal client that they want without getting a spoiled gut, right?
Right.
Faster interaction for hooks and thumbnails and the talking head videos. So the ones that scrub, so like Opus or Chipopity or whatever that I tried, don't like it
Yes.
anymore. I'm having a thing with them, but using Opus Clip or any of that kind of stuff to pull the data out. It's neat. It's important. The cons. It's this weird, uncanny valley. It just looks too strange, right? High trust audience detect it right away. There's no presence, there's no charisma, no human risk. Synthetic faces erode credibility of a real one very quickly. We are meant to see things that are
Imperfections. Yeah.
imperfections. I love imperfections. I love my scars. All that stuff, right? Disclosure and compliance pressure is rising, and rightly so. So, if you're utilizing AI within your business, there are a lot of disclosure and compliance documents that are coming forward to do you even have permission to put your client's data in there? And that's even just recorders, meeting recorders.
Mhm.
But people are now throwing in clients' full financial plans into Claude and saying, "Hey, help me." Gives me a slight heart attack. Uh-oh. Just a little bit, because it's actually interesting to see is the next scam threat that's happening is people are starting to try and break into chat or Claude or hack into those places where deepest, darkest secrets of a lot of people are sitting in there. Scary,
Absolutely. Yeah.
right? And so when everyone is a clone, the real face will win. It's interesting. Emotions, someone's eyes, someone's thought content, right?
I like that line. Like, and what came to mind was like visualize this as a sprint, and everybody's running in the same direction, right? They're running towards AI. And if you're like, you know what, this isn't the way to go, and you stop, just stop.
Yeah.
The other people that are running are still running ahead, including the clients and everything that are chasing that AI. When they realize that that's not what they want, and they stop and they turn around to go back, who's there? You're back there looking at them, and now they're coming back to you. Like visually, that representation is where we're headed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's really true. Again, I love what AI can do with some things. It's amazing. You and I worked on with many clients and stuff like that, and we can make it sing.
Mhm.
But the reason we can make it sing so well is because we have the right prompts. We've done the big work in the beginning. And it's so critical and important. And we have these conversations with our clients saying, no, we need you in this. Yes, we can create avatars to do all the commercials, but we need you. That's what the client will buy into, right? It's such a huge thing. So you clone the workflow. Don't clone the person. Does that make
Mhm.
sense? I want everyone to really
100%.
realize that,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
You're cloning the workflow, not the person. You know, I'm 50. I'm gained weight. I'd like to look nice and sleek, but it's even to the point now. Again, sidebar, but not really. They're having harder times finding people, missing persons, because we have modified our faces so much using AI and filters.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
automation.
and you look at the younger generation doing that way more now, right?
Way
So
more, way more, right? Like even like I've got there's a filter that automatically comes on my StreamYard. Like, honeys, I got lines. I really have lines. I'm 50. I have lines. So it's hard. It's almost embarrassing sometimes too, because I'm going, gosh, if I go out, they're going to see my wrinkles. It's very funny thing what it does to us, right? Automation systems gives you hours back that you can quietly turn into a client. And that's that part where I've always said, manage your energy, not your time. And so, energy, if you are putting it towards things that you hate doing, don't want to do, and should not be doing as a CEO, business owner, entrepreneur, right? This is where it's really going to help you win, because we spend so much time building businesses on things we dislike doing. And that's just part of the game, right?
mhm.
You're the chief cook, bottle washer, all that kind of stuff. You have to play all these roles. But AI's helped us automate that part. So follow-ups, never drop the ball, which is incredible. Consistent onboarding. And so having that consistency, bringing everyone on the same way, helps you understand what they're coming into, helps you on a compliance end. So if anything ever called to the table, or you have to go through an audit or anything like that, having a consistent onboarding routine or journey, no matter what part of your practice and no matter what part of your industry you're in, saver, game changer and saver.
Mhm.
You get hours back to allocate towards work only you can do, and you can scale without a proportional headcount, right? I have built a program which in the past cost, and it's inferior, millions of dollars and hundreds of people. And I was able to build a program with just myself and assistance by a few of you.
Mhm.
Like, what, 6 of us? It's crazy. Crazy. What do you think about the wins on the pros?
I mean, absolutely. Like these are bang on. The follow up part of it is key, and a lot of times, even going back 5, 10 years, when I got into the automation world, 15 actually, it was all based on follow up. That was the thing that people were just sucking at, right? Things were falling through the
Mm,
cracks,
mhm,
and that's where automation was key in that. And from the idea of the con side of it is the no critical thinking. That's the one that we've struggled with for years in any type of automation was when you build something to send somebody down an automated stream, it was always very linear. It was you get this email, then you get this email, and then how do you make it unique to that situation that was there, and you couldn't, right?
yeah,
It was very hard. And now you got merge fields and those type of things, and decision trees that as they flow through. But again, it's still what's the signal that's there. So now with AI being in there, and even the human side, we get a little closer to being able to give somebody the exact experience that they deserve in all those
mhm,
different touch points that's there.
mhm,
I still think and feel that as anyone that's in a device-based business, or that books appointments or any type of consults, being prepared and using tools out there to go and do some research on, the questions that the client has or the prospect has when they fill out their booking form, or finding a little bit more about them. It's going to prepare you for connecting to them, more on the human side, right? Don't go out and say, okay, go out and research how many clients do they have, what's the size of their business. It's like, what are they interested in? Like, how are they showing up in their community? Like, all that data, that's the soft data that's there, is going to make you better prepared to have that conversation. And the advisors that show up that way, I think, are excelling.
Completely excelling. We I can't wait to watch the rest of Dan's clips that we were talking about on the weekend, right? And he was so excited because he just said they were fun, right? And he got to add more of his flavor in there and stuff like that in the journey. And this is this interesting part that happens. The ones that are winning have a team around them, right? So when we're taking this person's team in particular, right? I took him through all the coaching and all that hard, boring stuff that a lot of people do not want to go through and break free. Then, there's the lead person that's coming through, and then you are handling the automation and the systems. And then there's another lovely, beautiful lady that's doing the photography and the assets. And by having all this in one part, we now know how to automate the whole entire piece, because we're all doing our job, and then we are going to measure it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And he's happy as happy can be, because this is a scary thing to do. He's doing a completely different change, but it's going to be successful even more than before because it's him showing up. So automation works when you are actually amplifying the right person, the right idea, the right flow that you're comfortable with. It's so powerful. So everyone just thinks it's, just a workflow, or I'll do this or I'll do that. It doesn't work. It does not work to your defined success that you want to have. You got to do all this work in the beginning, because it's again, that on the cons, the client becomes a row in a workflow, especially today. I want a human being. If you've ever tried to deal with something, I've got 2 charges on my credit card that were not mine. And one company, do this, do that, all automation. And then the other one, I just called, and it was a human being, and we talked about it. And oh my gosh, I felt so much better. Times that you do and times that you don't, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your little saying, and I'll never forget it. Automation is only for what you can safely predict. That's a Shaun saying, which I will never forget. So who's winning? Where are they winning? They're the clearest thinkers in the room. Those are the ones that are winning. So they're narrowing down and they're niching inward. So it's that whole part of, even when our client Dan was doing his photo shoot and doing his filming. We're going to talk a lot about Dan's today, right? It was like, Kim, do I sit at the table or not? No, it's even just that whole feeling that you can tell that it's fake. So it's not even just AI. It's even just faking a scene, but you're the human that's filming it. So if you are there fake working on a laptop in a pristine, clean, clear office, I call bullshit. Right?
Yep.
But if you're sitting on the side of your desk, talking and having a conversation, and relaxed and dressed the way you dress professionally to work, I'm going to lean in. Right? Those are the ones that are thinking. Those are the ones that are winning. So it's that scaling, that labor. It's that repetition to help you repeat really cool, thoughtful things. So the clients that we're working with right now, we're in that hard developing part right now, right? With Ryan, with Dan, with all of these, with Shaun, with all these individuals, we're in that hard developing time right now. And we just know we need to make it through and past that. Because once we have that one thing, that nuance, we can now amplify beyond, right? Yeah, it's a lot easier. Errors, they're a little bit recoverable too, right? So when it's just an automation system, it's easy to kind of recover and fix. You can see where things are falling apart. When there's a human side, or when it wins, trust is always the product. That's why I talk about the I so much. Know, like, and trust you. That's when they're going to buy. Know, like, and trust you. Critical thinking matters more. It is noisy. Like, it's absolutely crazy noisy. Relationships, that is the asset, period. And the biggest thing and advice I will give every single advice-based business owner that I know and that I talk with or who's listening today, go out and see the people. Get out from behind the phone, get behind the media. The media is just an asset. It's just an additional piece where they can find you. Your greatest sales, your greatest efforts, your most rewarding points in this world to make someone know, like, and trust you is go spend time with them face to face. We're craving it more than ever.
Right. It's
Right?
time to share the air.
Time to share the air. I love that. My two favorite twins, Sharon and Karen. Right? And one wrong moment ends the conversation, right? So if you have that one wrong moment with AI, you just piss someone off, like they're done. They will shut you off, shut you down, and they feel, it feels very, when talking to other clients, it feels very pointed. It's like, Shaun, you don't care about me enough to pick
Mhm.
up the phone and have a conversation. You've got this fake, stupid bot talking to me. Great. Bye. Done.
Right.
Right? But when you can pick up the phone and have a talk or a conversation, especially when you have, a misunderstanding or anything, it helps. It really,
Mhm.
really helps. So the moral of the story today, what do you want to leave people with to think about when they are approaching AI?
Then I think the first thing you need to do is use it on, like, internally. Like, and that's where anyone that has started with AI, the first thing they think of is what can I create to send out to people or to post publicly and do all this kind of stuff, right? Whereas, first of all, think how can I help it do me better, right? Whether it's coming up with ideas for you to write your stuff, for you to streamline your process in there, and then once you've become good at that, then it's how do I take what I want to put out there and make that amplified, right? So that's
Mhm.
that's the part of it is we tend to focus on it's going to sell, right? It's like AI is the only way that I'm going to grow my business because it's going to let me show up in all these different places those 18,000 times, right? And then you end up just diluting everything. And yeah, it still comes back to that term slop. As disgusting as that term is, right? That's if you were a solid foundation, we'll use dirt, right? Soil,
Yep.
you start to put a ton of water on it, it becomes mud and it becomes sloppy, right? That's what it is.
Yep, it is.
Right?
And it's even that whole part of our missing critical thinking. And hmm, it's my job to think and see the patterns. That's what I do for a living. And I pick on these patterns so quickly because it even shocks me to people saying stop using the AI slop or the big data centers, but they use an AI created generated image to talk about it. It's
Mhm.
like we're absolutely turning into hypocrites even too, because we're not even unintentionally, we're not even thinking about our actions. Just I need this to say this, and so we grab it so quickly.
What I find interesting, I've watched a couple of people do this, is they'll use AI, they'll use their headshot and they'll give it to their AI and they're like, I want to create a post, but put me in it. And it turns out it does a fairly good job at that. But then they'll just continue on that. And they're like, okay, now make me another version to change it with this. And over time, the appearance of that person changes. Right.
Mhm.
And I've seen people post stuff. I'm like, are they trying to make that be them? Because it's not even close. Right.
No,
Right.
no.
I mean, maybe they changed their nose so that their DNA wasn't passed down. I don't know what it was.
I cannot believe I'm going to get a rhinoplasty because I don't want to pass down. Lord help us. So there's an old rule, an acronym that I used to kind of hold true, and I think we need to kind of bring it back. So when we are posting, when we are utilizing media and the tools that'll help us amplify our voice, think. So we talked about critical thinking. Let's think about that acronym think. And it's, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And is it kind? And so I think that is a big kind of litmus test that we need to take or think about when we're slowing down every day, when we are moving through our world, our life, and our business with intention to help us through so many things. So we just did the 3 weeks to focus with one of our groups, and It's that part of noticing your habits, what you are doing every day, good or bad, because you've got to recognize it first. This change doesn't happen overnight. And then the next week, you're just looking at it with a yes or no on the margin of what you are documenting, what you're journaling. It does this move me towards the human and the person I know that I am? Not striving to be, know that you are. And is this move me towards the business I want to have? And when you start answering yes and no to that and recognizing the patterns, you now on the third week can take that and now start putting those actions in there of, right? By not grabbing my phone the first thing in the morning, I get to meditate, clear my head, spend the morning with the birdies or whatever, right?
Hmm.
So that I can go to work with a clear head, build the business I deserve, and lessen the noise out there. When we start having and introducing focus, critical thinking, all those pieces, those are the people that are going to win with AI. I just bring AI in to show you examples, right? When we're doing that whole website for the other Dan, I want it to look like this. Cool. So I can explain it to you better,
Hmm.
right? So I can explain it to AI and it's the right output. So I can explain and show you yourself because you're visual learners. So there's lots and lots of pieces. This is not something you should do alone whatsoever because there is just so much confusion out there and there is so many tricks and tools and all that kind of stuff. And some of it works, some of it doesn't. Just go see the people, get feedback, talk, have conversations, and make sure when you utilize a system, a tool, or whatever, that it's amplifying the right message that you want people to get out there, right?
Absolutely.
Felt like a bit of a soapbox today, but I care about everyone so much because I gotta have a little truth moment. There are so many advisors that I work with and that are connected to me. And we're having the quiet conversations, the wisdom and the whispers. And a lot of people are struggling right now.
Hmm.
And it makes me sad. A lot of people are struggling. Self worth, understanding, even just being able to know which was the right path or the choice to take. And I guess, if you always bet on yourself, you'll never lose. You'll never
Great.
lose.
Great advice.
Yeah. Okay. Stop being so serious, Kim.
Hmm.
Thank you so much for today. I enjoyed it as always. And I guess next week, next time, same time, all that stuff.
See you then.
Okay, doke. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.